Hi, I've been taking Qenda Ultimate Fibre for 2 weeks, tried increasing to 2 scoops twice a day, but I think my body wasn't ready as I suffer from constipation. All the fibre was making it difficult to have complete bowel movements, getting backed up a bit. With 2 scoops once a day, I was going pretty well. Wondering if sometimes what comes out, there's a few questions here. Um, so I'll answer that question first. So obviously, like you said, Juliet, you were suffering with constipation to start off with, and obviously Qenda Ultimate Fibre, as you've probably seen from previous reviews and people on the forum, it is amazing for constipation. Um, First, we need to look at the reasons why you had constipation in the first place. Some common reasons why people have constipation is one, dehydration, two, not moving the body, because obviously, like when you're walking around, if you're moving, like bouncing on a rebound is a really good thing. Like it gets your lymphatic system going. And if you think when you're moving around, it's actually helping move the intestines and it helps move stuff along. What I see is a lot of people suffer from constipation because they're actually sat down all day, which is pretty standard, and then they're not hydrated enough. So obviously, the amount of fibre in the diet and there's other factors that go into it, but first and foremost, you need to make sure you're adequately hydrated and that you're moving your body. And then if you're doing those two things, I'm very sure that Qenda, you will not be constipated with Qenda. Like you said, when you was just doing the 2 scoops in the morning, you was fine. And now you've gone to the 2 scoops twice a day, you feel like you're getting backed up a little bit. And what I suspect is going on there from what I've seen with so many people over the last 6.5 years is you're upping your intake of fibre, so you also need to up your intake of water. So, like I said, you need to be adequately hydrated for your body to be flowing properly. And when you're increasing your fibre, you actually need to increase your water intake at the same time. So, what I think's happening is now you're on the 2 scoops twice a day, you're just not hydrated enough. And that could have been the underlying issue or one of the reasons why you was getting constipation initially. And then when you're adding more fibre in, I think it's exuberated these symptoms. So, like, there's no real standard of what people need to have, but a good baseline is like 2 to 2.5 liters of water per day. And you can tell if you're adequately hydrated by the colour of your urine. Like, obviously, if it's a clear colour, you're hydrated. If it's like a lighter yellow colour, you're hydrated. If it's more dark yellow or even like a lighter brown, you're very dehydrated. And what is important to know, when you mix in the Qenda Ultimate Fibre, obviously you want to mix that with 650 to 800 ml total of water. So obviously, as per the instructions, like if you got it from me, from the Gut Health Hub, it comes with all the instructions. So when you're taking the Qenda Ultimate Fibre, obviously you get a protein shaker, you put 300 to 400 ml of water in it, put the 2 scoops on top, shake it up, drink it down, and then you actually wash it down with another 350 to 400 ml. So that makes 650 to 800 ml total of water that you mix in with the herbs of the Qenda. The reason why you're doing that is because then it adequately hydrates the herbs so that they can flow through your body correctly. So that's why you need to have 650 to 800 ml of water when you mix in your Qenda. So that's the first part of it. Make sure you mix in the Qenda with the right amount of water. And then, like I said, you want to make sure you're adequately hydrated. And a good way to see that is obviously the colour of your urine and then obviously the quantity of fluid that you're drinking. Another way to help with hydration, you can obviously just put a pinch of like Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt in your water, because then you're adding sodium to your water. And I don't know if you're aware, all the cells in your body need sodium to absorb water. Obviously, you've all heard we're like 75% water. And so all our cells actually have water in them. But to absorb that water, we need to have salt. So quite a lot of answers to a very simple question. But when we're dealing with constipation, obviously, like I said, the Qenda's amazing for helping that. Like, if any of you watching this live have got constipation and not started the Qenda Ultimate Fibre yet, is absolutely amazing for it. But obviously, we need to make sure we're doing the standard fundamentals of health as well, as in making sure we're moving our body and we're hydrated. And those two things really help. So, and then lastly, because you're mixing the Qenda in 650 to 800 ml total of water, what I've seen a common mistake is people think, well, I'm having 800 ml of water in the morning with the Qenda, and then I'm having 800 ml of water in the evening with the Qenda. But you need to know when you mix the herbs of the Qenda with water, it actually mixes together and makes a jelly-like consistency. So it's like a jelly-like consistency of the Qenda going through your system. So that doesn't count to your daily intake of water. That's why you also need to make sure you're adequately hydrated. Qenda doesn't hydrate you. Qenda just goes, it's just like a food. The reason why it's a food is because it's a blend of herbs mixing with water, making that jelly-like consistency to obviously go through the body and work its magic on everything. But if you're not adequately hydrated, obviously, if anyone's not hydrated, whether they're taking Qenda or not, the first place the hydration goes from is your digestive system. Your water, there is quite a lot of water in your digestive system because your digestive system is just a tube. And just like you get like mucus in your throat, that lining of mucus actually goes all the way along the intestinal lining and digestive tract. So if you're dehydrated, what your body does, it actually takes the water out of that mucus and uses it in the cells in your body. It's what it does just to keep you alive. So, yeah, long answer, but that's why you need to stay hydrated just in life in general. Otherwise, it's going to hit your digestive system first. And then obviously when you're taking the Qenda, the water that you're mixing with the Qenda doesn't count to your daily intake of water because you're mixing it with the herbs and it turns to like a jelly-like consistency. So, yeah, make sure you're adequately hydrated, and I'm very sure that will resolve your constipation.